Japan Foundation Fellowship allowed me to conduct research as an affiliate of Shiryohen Sanjo, the Historiographical Institute of the University of Tokyo. There, I gained access to research materials on pre-modern Japan that aren't available anywhere else in the world, and I was able to travel to specialized archives to examine rare materials that I had only read about. Researching in Japan also allowed me to become part of a scholarly community of graduate students, scholars, and other international researchers. I participated in seminars on medieval documents and was tutored regularly by extremely kind professors and graduate students. And to the best of my ability, I tried to return the favor by helping them with international papers and sharing my experiences from English language academic circles. I arranged a graduate student research and methods colloquium in medieval Japanese history as a way to showcase the historical research that the graduate students were doing. 30 international researchers attended, and though presentations were in English, the questions and answers were all in Japanese. So it was an excellent opportunity for scholarly exchange and international networking among academic communities that was very much in the spirit of Japan Foundation's goals to cultivate friendship and ties between Japan and the world.
I was very grateful to be selected for the long-term research fellowship, which fully supported my summer travel to live in and carry out research in Japan. Most of that time was spent in Tokyo, but I also went up to Sapporo. I was able to visit many past and future Olympic sites. In addition to my academic hosts at the University of Tsukuba that summer, I established relationships with a number of environmental NGOs in Tokyo, and also learned about some vocal groups who opposed the Olympics as well. So being present in Japan is actually, I think, really crucial to forming a well-rounded and informed perspective. Thanks to the personal connections that I was able to establish during my time in Japan on my Japan Foundation Fellowship, I hope to continue to contribute meaningfully to the discourse on sustainability, the Olympics, and Japan.
The Japan Foundation Fellowship was essential and crucial for furthering my graduate research, which then established the foundation for everything I've done since. So my dissertation was on contemporary Japanese comedy, but when I first went over, I had a very vague idea of what that would mean. I made a very heavy use of Tokyo University's library and the information school, popular culture and contemporary culture archives around Tokyo, such as the Oyasoi Ichibunko, which is an archive of contemporary magazines, of Shukan, Zashi, and other weekly and monthly magazines. I also met with a lot of academics in the field of media studies, and speaking to them really helped me focus and hone my dissertation. And so I went from this very vague project down this very focused, well-defined project by the end of the year, and the Japan Foundation Fellowship made that possible by giving me that freedom to focus just on doing my research.
So why should graduate students really consider Japan in their research? First of all, Japan has amazing sources, and these sources can really enrich a lot of topics, especially topics that nowadays have a global scope. So for example, a demographic historian who might not really know about Japan initially, if they look at Japan's early modern demographic record, they will find a lot of fascinating things to think about. In my case, I'm looking at the Mitsui Meike Mine Business Archives, and I have before me more than 30,000 pages of documents that span more than half a century. This is an amazing archive that gives all sorts of opportunities for close reading, but also a distant reading. People who have, either in collaboration with Japan specialists or else through translated sources, have had access to enough material to really draw some fascinating conclusions. I really think that Japan has such a wealth of documents, a wealth of history, and accessible platform for anyone who is studying any number of topics.
The Japan Foundation Fellowship in 2018-19 allowed me to collaborate with contemporary music experts in Tokyo who play koto, shamisen, shinobue, taiko, and of course shakuhachi. I composed new music, then re-performed my music and works by other composers in a 4-part concert series over the course of a year. This team of musicians has now become quite precious to me. Our next project is slated to take place here in Hawaii, and we're working on a larger scale collaboration mixing Japanese, Chinese, Korean, and Western instruments.